Right, let's get on to the game anyway. So, before the game, in fact, sorry, how are you guys doing in the league?
It's good. We've won 2 out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
We opening day of the season, we beat Wigan 2-1. Came from behind in that game to win late on. Similar story at Burton. It was we actually got pegged back to 1-1 and then scored right at the death again. And then the other night we played away against Norwich and we lost 1-0. But that game had the most sort of positivity after the game, which was encouraging. I didn't go, unfortunately. I do go to my share of away games, but Norwich on a Tuesday night was a bit of a mean one from the computer. But the fixture computer's also given us in the league Norwich away, Newcastle home, Villa home in the 3. So it's good that we've got off to a fairly good start, 6 points out of 9, and a big test coming up tomorrow.
Yeah. So I mean, what's your aspirations for the season? How do you think you guys are going to do or end up?
Well, we've made some brilliant signings. Last summer we made one signing. Season did not start well. Steve Cotterill got sacked, which was a shame because he'd won us the League One title and the Johnston's Paint Trophy. So this season there's been a lot more optimism. We finished the season strongly. Former player Lee Johnson coming in as head coach. And we've made some amazing signings. The headline one being Lee Tomlin from Bournemouth.
Yeah.
So before the start of the season, I sort of said it would be great to sort of compete and maybe finish about 10th. You know, realistic. Last season we were down the bottom most of the season. But with the signings and certainly after the first 2 games where we won and we're also through in the League Cup, you think, well, why not? So I'm raising it a little bit and I'm saying I'm hopeful we can sort of maybe sneak into 6th.
I don't even know. You've got to aspire somewhere, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. So in terms of lineups tomorrow, what are we going to look to expect from you guys?
Well, without wanting to give too much away,
Rafa's listening as well. He's listening.
Yeah, mate. I think it will be. I think it will be similar to the Norwich game where we mixed it up a little bit, and my mates and I were a little bit critical because we went very attacking.
Yeah.
And these 3 games are huge, really, because we want to be playing clubs of your stature regularly, and we went with the obviously the modern 4-2-3-1.
Yeah,
and
Rafa loves that as well.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah, I think it'll be a match-up tomorrow. So the signing of Gary O'Neill from Norwich was a very experienced head, so I'd imagine he'll be in there. He had a good game the other night, but then the 3 in front of him was very attacking. We had Callum O'Dowda, a young lad who we signed from Oxford, very promising. Lee Tomlin in the middle of the 3, and then Jonathan Codger, who scored 20 goals for us last season and has generated quite a lot of heat. He played sort of in a wider role, which from what I've seen and heard, he did very well. And the sensation, of course, for us is the loan signing of Tammy Abraham from Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
So he's going to be up top almost certainly. Whether that's with Codger supporting him or in the similar wide role. And Abraham, he will be a handful, and I think he'll go right to the top. I think we're lucky to have him on a season loan from Chelsea. I don't think it would go further than that because I think he'll do so well.
Yeah.
He scored 2 in the league already and 1 in the cup. So I think, especially because we're at home, I think Johnson likes to go attacking. It was just because it was Norwich away, it was a bit... We all sort of thought, I don't know, but we held our own and we had some chances, but ultimately I think it was a respectable result and quite good in a way going into this game because it kept us a bit level and it'd be an interesting one, but not many changes for us and the defence is sorted really.
Yeah, I mean for us, from our point of view, it'll be an interesting one because I've personally been on Rafa's back, not as much as other people, but just the fact that we've been too predictable. As you said, 4-2-3-1's been a popular formation for a lot of managers, especially for Rafa. So the game on Wednesday, he actually changed up and played 4-4-1-1, which is a different change to obviously what we've been playing before. Okay. I wouldn't actually mind us going into the game, playing that against you, because obviously we're away from home. We've got to go for it, because if we sit back, we'll get picked apart like we did against Fulham and Huddersfield. So even when we, I think in the second half, we even changed it, played 5-3-2, we had Anita and Dummett as wing backs. Who would have thought? But yeah, awesome change of ability, and it just shows obviously like the strength and depth we've got in our squad. So
yeah.
I think the main players for us is going to be obviously Gale. Obviously, you've probably seen the free kick that he scored.
Yeah.
He's going to be a bit of a handful for you guys, and Richie as well. Awesome signing. Now I still can't believe we've actually got him. I still can't believe he's actually dropped down a level for us. So I think he might give you guys a lot of problems. But
with just a mention on Dwight Gale, because we made, when Cottrell was getting a bit desperate, we made some reckless bids last summer. Do you remember this?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
what happened with that?
He didn't want to come, which was fair enough, and it got accepted. Palace weren't going to pay it, weren't going to play him.
Yeah.
And the bid was are in the region of sort of 9 million, and our transfer record is, well, at the time was 2.25 million.
Where were you getting the money from?
Well, Steve Lansdowne is a very wealthy owner.
Yeah.
But at the same time, 9 million is crazy. I mean, we've just made about 5 or 6 million on the sell-on of Balassi.
Yeah.
So we sold him for 350,000.
Oh, wow.
Which was mad, but we've made a good bit of money on that. So Dwight Gale will get a bit of stick, which is a bit silly considering he's never really, he just didn't, at the time, didn't want to drop down. I understand why he's done it with you.
Yeah.
So that'll be funny. But one thing on Rafa, one of my best mates is a big Liverpool fan, and obviously he's got like hero status, Rafa.
Yeah.
And he always used to talk about his zonal marking, and I just wondered if he still does that.
He does, and that's another thing that I think that might be our weakness, because he saw it in the Fulham game when we conceded against them. I think it was, Matt Smith. There was a bit of confusion, like who was picking up Matt Smith. I think Lascelles got blocked off in the end, and it just went to tits up basically. So again, that's probably going to be our weakness. Set pieces has always been our weakness, whether it be free kicks, corners. I think that'll be our weakness, and that's an opportunity to score basically. And obviously picking on the likes of Paul Dummett as well. I think he'll be one to pinpoint as well. I mean, is there any people that you're worried about in your side that we can kind of highlight?
First of all, I think Rafa's zonal marking at Liverpool went out the window with your mate Sunderland and the beach ball, didn't it?
Who was marking the beach ball?
But, for us, our defence is, you may have heard of Aidan Flint.
Yes, he was linked with us, yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have blamed if he'd have gone. I think that kind of move might come up. Goal scoring centre-back.
Did he score a hat-trick the other day, or last season or something like that?
Yeah, the season that we won the double, this game of the season here was 8-2 win at home, and he scored a hat trick, and all 3 goals were like volleys from corners, and he did a Rabona. It was insane. I did a radio interview with him. I was lucky enough, and he's a lovely guy. And I'm like 6'2", 6'3", and I was there going,
hello, mate.
he's a really nice chap, and he likes to no nonsense, get the ball out, but he's goal scoring centre back, so he will go far, hopefully with us. And we've just signed Forde Magnusson, Icelandic centre back, from Juventus, and he plays the ball out from the back, so they're working together well. He scored on the first day of the season, but the weakness at left back we have Joe Bryan, who's come through our academies, Bristolian. He's one to watch, young lad, number 3, very good. He's been like a sort of left winger and he's getting converted.
Yeah.
But the weakness is at right back for us, because for a few years our right back has been Luke Ayling, and we've just sold him to Leeds.
Yeah.
And not sure about that because they're loving him up there.
Yeah. But
the reason that is we got Adam Matthews on loan again for the second season from Sunderland.
Yeah.
But he is not match fit. So right. Ayling started the first game of the season, played well, and then got sold.
Yeah.
And so our sort of third choice is a guy called Mark Little, who League One was brilliant. Championship, he's getting found out a little bit. Right. And it just depends whether, if we start with Adam Matthews, he probably won't play 90 minutes, but he's a very good right back.
Yeah.
He might remember he played for Celtic at right back, and he marked Messi in Europe. So if Adam Matthews starts, you could take advantage of it in the second half, whereas if Little starts, you could take advantage of it in the first half. So right back is, I'm sure, what an area you will be targeting.
The only thing is with that, if we played the same team that we had on Wednesday, it'll be Gouffran against him. So I'm not that confident.
Right.
So you might get an easy buy that side. I mean, unless we swap sides and let Richie go that side, then I don't think that's really going to help us in any shape or form. But you never know, man. You never know. So with that being said, you've given your lineup, I've given mine, sort of thing. What do you reckon the score's going to be? How the game's going to be won from your point of view?
I don't know if you remember the last time you were in the Championship, there was one team that you didn't get at least one win off. Which, of course, and so we were the only team that was unbeaten against you. We didn't beat you.
Yeah.
At your place it was 0-0, and I think that was a travesty as far as you were concerned. I think that was an amazing point for us.
Yeah.
And down here was one of the best games I've ever been to. I don't know if you remember it, but we went 2-0 up at half time.
Yeah.
And we just bossed it. And then you scored 2 in the second half, so it was 2-2. And I remember Andy Carroll scored. The fans were brilliant. I'll be in the same stand as you tomorrow, but in the corner, so there's a lot of banter. And it was the same, albeit at the other end, all those years ago. I think it was about 5 years ago. And it was just an amazing game. And we came away sort of happy. Even though we'd been 2-0 up, we were happy because you bossed the second half. And we knew you were going to blitz that league. And I actually think it will be similar. I think it will be an entertaining game. And I think a score draw. And I often sit on the fence, really, and I like to be positive, but respect the opposition as well. So I'm going to go for a very entertaining 1-1, I think.
Interesting. Scorers?
It would have to be Abraham for us, and because of the connection, it would have to be Gale for you.
Yeah. I'm going to go for something similar. I think it's going to be a couple more goals, though. I'm thinking it's going to be 2-2. I think we'll get off to a good start, obviously off the back of Wednesday's game. And then we'll slowly start to kind of drift off in probably the latter of the first half, which we did on Wednesday. The only difference is that Reading didn't capitalise on it, and I think you guys might do. So I think we get off to a good start. The first 20 minutes, I've said this before, is crucial for us. So we just need to score in the first 20 minutes. But we need to make sure we get 2 goals because, again, it's going to pretty much be the Keegan era for us, part 2. We need to outscore teams. And I don't know if we're going to outscore you guys to win. I can see us getting something, but I can't see us winning, so I'm going to go with 2-2, I think.
Okay. Excellent. Well, the player I haven't mentioned is Richard O'Donnell, our goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And he's had a blinder the last couple of games, and he can really make some good saves. And I think, for me, I think the keepers will have a part to play. I think they'll be busy, but I agree with you. I certainly think there will be goals, and I hope so.